2x plus 5x. Have you seen that before? 2x plus 5x.
No, I've not seen
Okay,
that.
so you've never seen variables before. Okay, that's interesting. All right, that's good. All right, let's try something different then. What is this box plus 4 equals 7? What number would go here?
3.
3. Okay. Now in algebra, we start introducing what are called variables to our problem sets here. So x is what's called a variable, and you've never seen this before?
Wait, I think I have. Is it
Okay.
like if it was like 7x plus 4x, and then x was like 6, and then you would multiply 7 by 6, 4 by 6, and then add it?
Exactly. So what we're
Oh,
going to do
okay.
here is we're going to work on what are called one-step equations. Okay.
Okay.
And one-step equations means there's one step to solve them. Okay. So a couple of rules for you here. You undo addition with subtraction.
Okay.
Okay. So do you see how there's this plus 4 here? X plus 4 here?
Yeah.
Okay. So you undo plus 4 by subtracting 4.
Okay.
X equals 3,
3.
right? So you undo addition with subtraction. All right, so let's take a look at another problem here. Let's say it's x plus 9 equals 20. Okay. So do you see that
Okay.
you can undo addition by 9 with 20? I'm sorry, you can undo addition by 9 by subtracting 9.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to subtract 9 here. And you want to show it on what's called both sides of the equation. So when I say sides, this is like the left side, this is like the right side. Okay. You always do the same thing to both sides of the equation. That equal sign divides the equation. Now on the left here, it's really x plus 0. Okay.
Okay.
Plus 9 minus 9 is 0. 20 minus 9 is 11. Okay. There is and then you bring this equal sign down. When you see plus 0, you say to yourself, oh, well, if I have nothing to add to it, it doesn't change.
Mm-hmm. So x would equal 11.
Yeah. So what's important here, and what I can't see on your side, this is one of the limitations of the Zoom, is that you really want to replicate this work. Now you don't need to replicate the lines. I like this horizontal line. I don't really like the vertical one, but you have to show your steps here, show your work basically. So if I put something like x plus 12 equals 15. When you solve this, what I'm looking for, if I'm grading your work, it's subtraction by 12, subtraction by 12, x equals 3.
Oh, okay. So like teachers would look for that?
Exactly. Like everything I have here is what they would see. Now you can put in the x plus 0 if you want, like that's okay too. But eventually you're going to realize, oh yeah, and if I add 0 to something, I get 3.
Yeah.
Or you get the x and the equals
Yeah.
3. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So let me have you. So what's not important here is like I know you probably know that 11 plus 9 is 20 and 3 plus 12 is 15. That's not what's important. What's important is showing the work, showing the progression of how you got there.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
So let me give you a couple of problems to try here. All right, so go ahead and try each of these for me, please, and let me know
Okay.
what you come up with.
So is the first one x equals 3?
2, subtract 2, x equals 3, subtract 1, x equals 9. Okay. Oh, sorry, you probably didn't do that one.
Yeah, I did, don't worry.
Okay, you did. Good. Very good. Okay. Now, well, other things here. So we just said you undo addition with subtraction.
Yeah.
Okay. And you undo subtraction with addition.
Okay. Okay. So if it was multiplication, would you undo it with division?
Yes, exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So you undo multiplication with division, you undo division with multiplication. These are things that you're going to see here. So there's actually, and we might as well just jump to it. So if I give you an equation like this, like x minus 3 equals 10, how do you undo subtraction by 3?
You would add 3?
Yes, you always undo with the same thing. So you add 3 to both sides of the equation. I always draw this horizontal line. It's up to you. It's kind of like a total, you're kind of totaling up something or summing up something.
Yeah. So 13.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
Now, I want to only focus on addition and subtraction right now because there's other ways that these equations can be presented to you. Like, for example, here, let's say it's minus 4 plus x equals 8, okay? Minus 4 plus x equals 8.
I am really bad at my negatives.
Well, you want to treat this as subtraction.
Okay. Oh,
So how do you
okay.
undo subtraction by 4? Well, you add 4 to both sides.
Oh, okay.
Now it's 0, 0 plus x equals 12.
12. Okay. So you don't have to change the negative or anything?
No.
Okay.
Because see how in all the problems, the negative and the positive have lined up here? They undo each other,
Yeah.
like in the previous one, negative, positive, positive, negative. They always line up and they undo each other.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, here's your problem. So we've got x equal 12, like that. So let me have you try one here. How about minus 5 plus x equals 6? Do you want to solve that for us, please?
Yes. Would it be 11?
X equals 11. So you want, but
Yeah.
what's important is that you're showing the steps. Okay, and the reason,
Yes.
like, we're
I did
building a
do that.
foundation, yeah, and we're building a foundation for more difficult problems where you've got to show the steps this way.
Okay.
Okay, so the variable can actually be on either side. Like, it doesn't have to always be on the left. Okay, so let's go back. Let's say it's 15 equals x plus 8. Okay, now your focus should always be on the side with the variable.
Okay.
Okay, so which side has the variable, the left side or the right side?
The left.
So here's the left, here's the right. Which side has the variable?
The left.
This is
Right?
the right.
The
This is
right.
the right. Yes, right.
Oh, I thought the variable was what it equaled.
Well, so that's what I'm trying to show you is like sometimes you have a problem where the variable's on the right and you have to know how to tackle this type of problem.
Oh, okay.
In your focus though, you look at the side with the variable. So like what I sometimes will do, let me see if I can do that here. Draw, where's the shapes? There we go. It's like your focus is over here on the right. Okay, and you're just
Okay.
looking at that x plus 8. So how do you undo plus 8?
You subtract 8.
Subtract 8 from both sides.
Okay.
So you get 7 equals that. See
Okay.
that? Now this
So
is
when it,
odd, right?
yeah.
So
Sorry.
you switch the sides and you write x equals 7. And the reason is because we read from left to right, we do math left to right, so on and so on.
Okay. So if it was like addition, you would subtract like 15 minus 8 and 8 minus 8. But if it was subtraction, you would add it.
So let's look at a problem like that. Let's look at something where it's 6 equals x minus 3. Okay. So your
Okay.
focus is on the side with the variable. You look at the side with the variable. You don't look at anything else. You say, what side has the variable?
Okay.
And the side that has the variable here is the right side. So you look at the right side and you say, how do I undo, how do you undo subtraction by 3?
So would you add 3?
Yes.
Okay.
Add 3 to both sides.
So x would equal 9.
Yeah. Now what you can do is write 9 equals x, or you can immediately go to x equals 9. The variable needs to be on the left when you're done.
Oh, okay. So 9 equals x.
Yes. Well, no. I'm sorry. They're both correct. They're both correct, but the one on the bottom here, this is preferred.
Oh, okay. That's it, I thought.
Okay. So let me give you a couple of problems to try here. Let's say it's 5 equals -2 plus x, and then x plus 7 equals 13. Okay, so why don't you try those for me, please?
Okay. So I'll do the 5 one first.
Sure.
So for that one would be x equals 7.
Okay.
And then
I agree.
the one. And then for the next one, would it be x equals 6?
Yes. And again, the steps are important. I'm sure you're putting this down, but that's
Yeah.
like if you just went from the first line to this line, it's not as good as just showing a few things in between like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you did mention some positive and negative numbers, so we really do need to talk a little bit about that. So let me just throw some problems at you and see how you do with them. Okay, so I've just put 4 problems up here on the screen. Go ahead and work out any of these. And if you have questions, you can ask. I'm just kind of curious where you're at on this. So,
Okay. So would the -7 plus 4, would that be -3? Okay. And would the one under that be -4?
you are correct.
Okay. Would the next one be like, would -6 plus -3, would it be +3? Or it'd be
It's
+9?
actually -9.
Oh, I thought that 2 negatives made a positive.
We'll talk about that in a moment. This is to help gauge how much knowledge or depth I have to give you
Okay,
on
let
it.
me do the next one. Would the next one be 4, +4?
Okay, so yeah, so let's talk about the 2 cases here. So the first case 1 is same sign. Right. So when you're adding 2 numbers, same sign. Okay. And so what that means, and just again, a really trivial example is like 2 plus 5. Do you agree that these are both positive?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when they're both positive, the first thing you do is you always keep the sign, meaning like the answer in this case is positive. Now you don't write it, but we know that it's positive.
Okay.
Does that make sense? The
Yes.
second thing is you add the numbers without the sign. Okay.
Okay.
And you might be like, well, what do you mean by that? Well, this is really 2 and 5. You take 2 plus 5, you add those together. 2 plus 5 is 7.
7.
Okay. You're like,
Okay.
why would you even be showing this? Well, let's look at a better example. Let's talk about -3 plus -4. Okay.
Okay.
Are these same sign? Are these both positive or both negative?
Both negative.
Both negative. They're both negative. So when they're both positive or both negative, you first keep the sign. So you know that your answer is
Negative.
negative. Okay. The next thing you do here is you add the numbers without the sign. So you look at
Okay.
it, it's 3 and 4. What is 3 plus 4?
7.
-7.
Oh, okay. I thought that when the number was like, I meant, sorry. I thought that the sign in the middle, like if it was positive, you change the negative to positive.
We'll talk about that here in a minute. Yeah. So that's kind of the third example here. This is example 1, example 2. So example 3 is like -5 minus 2. Okay. -5 minus 2. These are actually both negative.
What?
Now, to your point, what you can do here, and let me actually write it down here, is you can change this negative to a plus negative like that. Is that what you
Oh,
were referring to?
yeah.
And I like doing that. That's how I learned it. I mean, nowadays I don't do any of that, but it really does help with this. Now, they're both negative, so the answer is negative. You know that it's a negative answer. And then there's a 5 and a 2. So the second step here is to add the numbers without the sign. So you just treat it as 5 and 2, not -5 and -2, and you add them together. What is 5 plus 2?
7.
It is 7. -7. Right.
That's okay. That's what I thought, but I was still kind of like on it because we were learning that at the end of the year, kind of.
So let's do a few more examples of this. And we're gonna be coming up here. When did we start? We got just a couple more minutes to get our, let's double check the time here. Because I know we started late and we'll have your sister jump on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go for another 5 minutes
Okay.
or so. So let's do this. -3 plus -1.
Okay.
-5 minus 4. 6 plus 3. -6 minus 5. Okay, so could you attempt to do each of these for me, please?
Yes, I will attempt. um. So would I'm not sure if these are correct, but is the
Just
first
okay.
one
Hang on. Let me before you answer. These are all same sign. These are all variations on what we just did. Okay.
okay?
Go ahead. What's your answer for the first one? Unless you want to make some changes.
Would it be 4? Like
It
-4?
is
Sorry.
-4, yes. And it's very
Okay.
different. Like 4 and -4 is the difference between owing someone $4 and having $4.
Yeah.
So it's very different. You know, yeah, it's nice to have some money in your pocket, or it's like difference between going left and right. Like it's really a big difference there. So
So
go
would
ahead
the
and
next so would 5 the -5 minus 4, would that be -9?
yes, very good.
Would 6 plus 3 be +9, just 9?
Yes. Yep.
And then would -6 and 5 be -11?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Really
Because
good.
I
Okay.
carried the sign, I put the positive and I carried the negative.
Yes.
That's like the only way I know how to do it.
So the next thing here is case 2, and this is when they are opposite in sign. So you're going to get something where it's 1 positive and 1
Okay.
negative. And we're gonna look at a really simple example here. 10 minus 6.
Okay.
Example number 1. Okay. 10 is positive, but 6 is negative. So one
Okay.
positive, one negative. So step number one is you actually have to determine the sign. Determine the sign, whether it's positive or negative. Now, the way you determine the sign is you have to determine which number is further from 0.
So it would be 10.
And so we know that the answer is positive. Okay.
Okay.
You first determine the sign. Good. Second is you take the larger and subtract the smaller without the sign.
I have a question.
Of course.
So my teacher taught me when it's like a positive and a negative, like positive at 10 plus negative 6. She said when it's positive, it would be like love and negative would be hate. So it would be like love to hate, which you don't want to hate. So it would be subtraction. So you subtract it and then you carry the number with the bigger sign, like the bigger number, that sign over.
Okay. And
So
that is true. I mean, I try to stick away from, philosophical things like love and hate in math world. I would encourage you to try what I'm about to propose, because it doesn't deal with because then you get things where you hate more than you love. That's bad. We don't want that. Um, what if you love someone that hates you? Like that's weird too.
Yeah.
But maybe it's different class. So you take the numbers without the sign. So you look at it as 10 and 6 now. You don't worry about the one's positive, one's negative, and you take the larger and subtract the smaller. What is 10 minus 6?
4, positive 4.
4. So it becomes positive 4. Okay. And you already knew that. You already knew that 10 minus 6 is 4. But this is the reason. Now, the reason we do all that is because now, what if it's negative 9 plus 3? Okay. So again, you follow the steps. You determine the sign. Which is further from 0, negative 9 or positive 3?
Positive 3.
Further from 0. Like
Oh,
zeros on
negative
the on
9.
right. So that's really important. So we know the answer is negative. And then you take the numbers without the signs.
Okay. So would it be negative 6?
So you subtract the 9 minus 3, like you just said,
Yeah.
is negative 6. Very good. Okay. So here's another example. What if it's 5 minus 11?
Okay.
Okay, 5 minus 11. So you've got positive 5,
Positive 9.
negative 11. Which is further from 0, the positive 5 or the negative 11?
Negative 11. So it'd be
So that's a negative. Then you take the larger number and you subtract the smaller number. So you look at this as 5 and 11. You say, okay, it's 11 minus 5, which becomes
negative
6. 6. Good. And then one more example here, be something like negative 8 plus 12.
Okay.
So which is further from 0?
12. Positive
12. So it's positive. You treat the two numbers without the signs. So you say it's 12 minus 8.
So 4.
Positive 4. Now, eventually, you're going to go right to the answer. That's in between is just till you get it down. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you 4 problems now that are opposite in sign to close out. Let's go negative 3 plus 6, minus 5. I'm sorry, that's bad. Here, let's go let's go 9 minus 13, 5 plus negative 2, and then 6 minus 1. So if you could try these for me, please.
Okay. So the first one would be positive 3.
Okay.
The next one would be positive 4.
Which one? Down here?
Oh, yes.
Which one is further from 0 though, 9 or negative 13?
Oh, I didn't know it was negative 13.
Well,
Okay,
again, you could change it to plus negative, right?
yes, hang on. So, oh yeah, okay. Let's make it so negative 4.
Yep.
-4.
Good.
Okay. The 5 and 2 would be +3. And then the last one would be +5.
Okay, so we're gonna stop here. If you want to let your sister know I'm ready for her, we'll I'll start with her, and I'll
Okay.
see you guys on Friday. See you on Friday.
I see ya. Let me go get her. Bye.
How's it going? This is Julia, right?
Yes.
All right, you still doing soccer?
I have soccer tomorrow. Today,
Nice.
I was just sleeping.
You got it. So we're gonna go till about 11:15 to close our lesson today. We've been doing a lot with the order of operations, so we'll just pick up there where we left off here. So let me throw a couple of problems at you. And we'll work them out together. So let's say it's -3 times -2 plus 4 times -6. Okay.
Okay.
So do you remember when you're taking two negatives? So same sign, multiplying same sign, is the answer positive or negative? Do you recall?
Positive.
It's +6. And then how about positive times a negative? What does that become?
A negative.
-24. Now, these are opposite in sign, and it's kind of one of those things we're working on with your sister. They're opposite in sign here. Do you remember the rules here for adding one positive and one negative?
Yeah, you keep the sign of the one that's farthest from 0,
Good.
and then you subtract.
Excellent. Excellent. So what would the answer be here then? You take your time for that.
Okay. No.
So you said that
Wait.
though, yeah, you just said it is negative, and then you take the 24 and subtract
Yeah.
the 6.
Subtract the 6.
So give
And
that
that
one
would
more
be
try.
18.
-18. Good. Yeah. So
Yeah.
when you give me the answer, make sure you give me the full answer. I know 24 minus 6 is 18, but give me that
Okay.
full answer there. All right,
Okay.
good. So let's try another one here. Let's try -5 times 3 plus -6 times -2. Okay, so why don't you try
Okay.
working this one out for me, please?
Okay. Okay, I got -3.
As your final answer?
Yes.
Okay, so we have -15 plus 12 is -3. Very good. Now we're going to add a few more operations to this just to see where, to see how things are going here. So just to increase the complexity a little bit. So let's go 5 plus -2 times -3 minus -4 times -2. So give this one a try here. We'll build into the more difficult ones here shortly.
Okay. I got 3.
+3.
Yes.
Okay, let's take a look here.
3.
So 5 plus 6 minus 8, which is +3. Good, really good. Okay, you're doing great. So the next thing I think we talk about here are exponents.
Okay.
So if I give you something like this, 3 to the power of 2, here's what this means. It means 3 times 3. So
Okay.
notice that there are two threes. I know there's a lot of
Yes.
2 and 3s going back and forth, but this is what you have to remember here. That you take that base, what's called the base, that's the base, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the exponent, but you write the base however many times you see here.
Yeah.
Okay, so like 5 squared is 5 times 5, which is
Yes.
25. Okay. And 4 squared would be 4 times 4,
16.
16. Now, I'm not going to give you big numbers, but you need to know some of them. Now, what if it's 2 to the power of 3? This is the one that gets confused often. You take that base, 2 times 2 times 2.
6. Oh,
Try
no,
again.
no, no, no. It
Try
would
again.
be 4, 2, 8.
It would be 8. Yes. Okay. So it's easy to do what you just did. That's why you got to
Yeah.
write it out
Uh-huh.
fully.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's do some problems. So we've talked about you do multiplication and division
Mm-hmm.
before addition and
Addition.
subtraction. Exponents you do before multiplication division.
Yeah.
Okay, so it might look something like this. 15 minus 2 to the fourth
Okay.
plus -3 times 6. Okay,
Okay.
so what should you do first in this problem?
The exponent.
The exponent. So
So,
you got to figure out what 2 to the power of 4 is first for me,
okay.
please.
So, would be 8. 16.
Okay, so this becomes 15 minus 16 plus -3 times 6. So what do you need? What do you do next?
Multiplication. I mean, yeah, multiplication. So
Okay, so
-3 times
so why don't you
6.
see if you can work it out from here? Give me your
Okay.
final answer whenever you're all done.
Okay. -17.
Okay, so your answer is -17. So what is -3 times 6?
-18.
-18. Then you have 15 minus 16. So when you get it down to just addition, subtraction, or multiplication, division, you do it in the order, right? Left to right. So what is 15 minus 16?
Wait, I thought you were supposed to add the plus sign. I think I accidentally added the plus sign.
Well, it's a plus -18,
Okay, okay,
but that's okay. Like it ends up being the same.
okay. So then I did 15 minus 16 is 1, and then
So there's your
plus,
problem. It's -1.
okay.
Why is it -1? What? Tell me
Because
why.
16 is larger and it's farther from the
Exactly.
0 and it's a
Exactly.
negative. So
Exactly. Now your
yeah,
sister was telling me about this idea of like love, positive is love and negative is hate. I don't
yeah,
love that, but maybe you like it. I always think of like money. You have $15, you pay something for $16, so you need an extra dollar. Somehow you have to
uh-huh,
reconcile that kind of,
yeah,
to yourself
yeah,
here. It's
yeah.
-1 plus -18.
So that would be the same sign. So you, it's -19.
There you go.
So,
Good.
yeah.
Okay. Good. So we're increasing the complexity, which is, one of the reasons for the challenge here. So let's do this. Let's just try another one here. Let's go 3 squared minus 12 plus -3 times 1.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and work this out as much as you can. If you have questions, please ask.
Okay. I got -6.
Okay. How confident are you in your answer?
I'd say I'm pretty confident. I don't know. I
Okay,
think I
fair
was
enough.
I
Yeah, fair
yeah.
enough. I'm just sort of asking because it's like if you want to spend some more time um on this, you can.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's take
I
a look
got
here. What is 3 to the power of 2?
9.
Okay. And what is -3 times 1?
-3.
Okay. So you have 9 minus 12 plus -3. 9 minus 12 is -3. Plus -3 is -6. Good. Really good. All right, let's throw in a couple more here. So actually a couple new rules here. 1 to any power is always 1. Okay, so
Okay.
let's say it's like 1 to the 5th. It's always 1.
Okay.
1 to the 500 is always 1.
Okay.
All right, another one here is 0 to any power. I'm sorry, not that one.
Any power
Anything
0.
to the power of 0 is 1. So if you have 1 to the power of 0, that's 1.
Okay.
55 to the power of 0, that's 1. 3.14 to the power of 0 is also 1. So anything to the
Okay.
0 power is 1. 1 to any power is 1. Right.
Okay.
That'll come up here in a bit. So let's do a couple more problems. Let's go -4 times -3 times -2 plus 5 squared minus 3.
Okay. So, -2.
That
Yeah.
okay. So -4 times -3 times -2. What did you get for that?
I got I did the exponent first and I got 25 and then so I
Okay,
did 12 times -2 plus
yeah. And so
25
what did you get for that? Yeah, sorry. We should do the exponent first. What does that become?
I 12 times -2 plus
What is 12 times -2? Give me that final.
24. -24.
Yes, yes, good, good. And then this is 1 minus 3 is -2. Really, really good. Excellent. You're really doing a great job today on these. So let's try something different here. So the last order of operations thing is parentheses.
Mm-hmm.
In parentheses, you do before exponents,
Okay.
before multiplication, division, and before addition and subtraction. Right.
Okay.
But the thing that's hard about parentheses is that you basically look and do everything inside parentheses before everything else.
Okay.
Okay, so like let me give you an example here. Let's say it's 3 times 2 minus 1 in parentheses plus 3 plus 4. Okay,
Okay.
so
So
guess where you go first. You go right inside parentheses and you ignore everything else. And then
okay.
once you're inside parentheses, it's almost as if like you reset. You say, okay, what do I have here? Well, you have multiplication and subtraction. So which do you do first?
Multiplication.
Right. So you do 6 minus 1, which is 5, right? But you really
Yes.
have these parentheses the whole way. So the question is, when can you drop parentheses? Well, you drop them or like get rid of them whenever you are totally done inside there. Like once you've done everything, there's no more math operations, you can then drop the parentheses.
Okay.
So at this point, you no longer need the parentheses. 5 plus 3 plus 4, which is 12.
Okay. Got that.
Okay. So that's not a great example. Let me see if I can find a couple here for us. Here's a couple of good ones here for us to look at. So let me, we haven't done much division either, so I'm glad that I found a few here.
Okay.
So here's a problem for you to try. You want to do what's inside parentheses first, and then you can only drop the parentheses once you've done everything inside there.
Okay. Okay, I got 8.
Your final answer is 8. Okay, let's take a look here.
Yeah.
So it's 40 divided by 4 minus 2. Now you don't need the parentheses anymore because there's nothing to do there, but that minus or subtraction still comes down. So then you divide first, 10 minus 2, which is 8. Really good. Really, really good here. Okay, so let me throw a couple more at you. Trying to find some good ones here. All right, here we go. All right, so give this a try, please.
Okay. Four.
Sure, yeah, 6 plus 21 is 31 minus 7, still in parentheses, divided by 6. 24, you can drop the parentheses when there's nothing left to do, which is 4. Very good. Now, you'll find the more you do these, like you don't have to show every single step, but for now, it's really good, really, really good to do.
Okay.
All right, so a couple more here. We got about 5 more minutes before we close out here. So this one's just a tiny bit more difficult, but give that a try.
Okay. I got 112.
112. Okay, let's take a look here. So it's inside parentheses. You first do the 9. 3 squared is
Mhm.
9, and then 9 times 5. It's also okay to just kind of write that stuff where you don't have to keep rewriting the other things. 9 times 5 is 45 plus 9, and then that's 54. Okay.
Mhm.
And then you can drop the parentheses and start bringing other stuff. So it's like 2 times 54 plus 4. So 2 times 54 is 108 plus 4 is 112. Good. Okay, let's see here. Let me make sure this one actually worked. It does work. This worksheet I've been pulling from, sometimes they have problems that just don't work very well. This one works out nice. We're gonna take a look at that, please.
Okay. Okay, I got 3.
3. Yeah, that sounds correct. So we got 10 plus 59 minus 9. Now, what's interesting is you actually can sort of work on these simultaneously. So you can say, okay, well, I'm going to do everything in parentheses there and then everything in parentheses there. So you can actually subtract inside the parentheses. Like you can
Yeah,
as you go.
that's what I did.
Good. And like 10 plus 59 minus 9, you end up getting 60 when you do all that. So like this is where we want you to get to. We want you to get to kind of bounce to the right answer there.
Uh-huh.
All right. So I feel like we've really covered order of operations fully. I'd like to move into some new stuff on Friday with you.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and stop here for today.